Hey everyone, David Gramling. I'm going to give you the 5 steps, 5 tools, 5 tips that I like to use and go by. Let's start with number one. Number one, compromise. Why do we compromise? We compromise because number one, we're not always right on everything. We're not always wrong either. Sometimes it's just a difference of opinions. I like blue, you like yellow. What color should we decorate the nursery? There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. It's just a matter of perspective. You can debate it back and forth, but sometimes you're not going to find yourself to be wrong, and you're not going to find the other person to be wrong. So a lot of times compromise is important because we're not always right. And also it's important to compromise because you want the other person to compromise with you at times. And a lot of times it's that bridge in the middle where we meet. And that's where we have a union that works. Number two, be yourself. You have to be yourself. You can't be anyone else other than yourself. Yourself is all you can be. If you try to be someone else, eventually the true you is going to come out. So just be yourself, and that's enough. Number three, don't be too stubborn. Stubbornness is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. It puts you in a box. One of my best friends, he keeps saying, I'm not going to get married. I'm not going to get married. So being kind of stubborn about it, I told him maybe it would be smart if you say, I don't know if I'm going to get married. Because you don't know. And if you put yourself in a box, I'm just not going to do it, then I feel like that's limiting you. And I think you're the one that suffers from it. Versus putting yourself in a situation where it's like, well, I don't know. I might not. But I'm giving myself the freedom to have an open mind, to change my mind if circumstances or the situation calls for it. That's just taking advantage of the opportunities you have in life. So I would suggest do that. Number four, adapt. This kind of goes around with compromise. Adapting is important. You have to be yourself. You don't want to be too stubborn, but you want to be firm in what you do believe, but you also want to be able to adapt. If something's not necessarily working, you want to be able to look into why it's not working and see if you can find a way to find solution to the problem. You're an intelligent, capable human being. You're a problem solver. So you want to find these solutions and you want to take advantage of the opportunities to do that. And you can. I know you can. That's not something that's impossible or hard. It's just something that takes time and work. Number five, grow. This is a big one. You want to grow. You always want to evolve. This is why the program's entitled Evolved Me. Abbreviated BAE, Boundaries, Acceptance, and Ego. But ideally, I wanted this program to be Evolved Me. When you're growing, you're becoming a better you, you're becoming a better union, you're becoming a better couple, team, whatever you want to label yourself. And I'm not very big on labels, but whatever you do want to label yourself, you want to continue to grow. And with grow comes change. And change isn't always fun, but change is going to happen. For example, I have a friend whose parents had a hard time with him kind of getting older and moving out and going through the motions of being his own man. And that's just how it is. It's growth. It's time. They did their job at 18 years of him, and now he's in his 30s. It's time for him to be his own man. And it's not always fun for them to see their baby boy have to make decisions without their consent or to do things that they don't like, but at the same time, it's time. And he's growing. So that relationship not only does it need to evolve and adapt, but it also needs to grow. And it can grow to something better. It can grow to something a lot cooler. And you don't have to take away from the past when you grow. You're just growing into something bigger. It doesn't mean you have to take away what was already established. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying in order to grow, though, you do have to accept change. Change is hard. And that's where acceptance goes in that whole instance. But it'll be worth it. You do those 5 things, you're on your way to being your best you. I'm here anytime. David Gramling, my team's here. DGYNC, David Gramling Yoga and Crafts. We're always here to help you out. Thank you for hearing what I had to say. Those are my 5 tips to live by, and I will see you soon.